What's up, guys? My name is Nathan Williams. I'm with KWE Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about marketing deals. This one has a bit of a special place in my heart because I actually graduated with a degree in marketing and I've done some work in the sector, everything like that. It's so important, and we have a great opportunity to use marketing skills in the wholesale real estate investing world. So we're going to be talking about this, and we'll hop right in. Number one, why marketing matters. It seems like something that shouldn't matter that much, but it creates effective communication. Extra boldness on effective because that's so important. Effective communication means that you are telling someone something and they understand it the way that you meant it to be presented. And typically, when we're wholesaling a deal, that means that the buyer knows the same information that you do. Maybe not everything, but most of it. So making sure that you get all the information to them and that the buyer has everything they need, or, you know, just for sake of example, maybe you're on the acquisition side, you picked up a deal, you're JVing this with your dispo guy. You still need to effectively communicate all of these things to your dispo person so they can go talk to their buyers, give them all the information they need because your buyers are going to want to know, hey, what does this place look like? What's the price? What's the bed bath? Are there comps? All kinds of really important things. So effective communication is key. Number two, it gets deals sold. When you work well with people and they know what you have, it's a lot easier to sell deals. Number three, it saves you time, headaches, and builds lasting professional relationships. I cannot stress this one enough. We learned this so fast that if you send a deal out to 100 buyers and you forget some key information, like I don't know. For example, let's say you don't list the comp or you don't list major repairs. Well, now you're going to have, let's say 30 of those people are actually interested in your deal. Half of them are probably going to reach out to you and say, hey, what kind of repairs need to be done on this place? Hey, did you find any comps on this? And now you have to respond to each of them individually when if you could have predicted what they wanted up front, you could have saved yourself a lot of time and your buyers a lot of time. So save them the headache, and additionally, you can send it to them. And it might not feel like you're getting as much of a response, but that's because you're just cutting out people who aren't interested in the first place. So they can look at it and go, I see your comp, I see everything that you have here, but I'm just not really interested. And that's okay. Let them go and just focus on the people who are serious buyers who really want this thing. And that's the way you can build great, lasting professional relationships. Communication is so key in that matter. So I'm going to hop into a couple templates that we have. First, we're going to do houses, and then we're going to do lots. And these specifically are more so towards like a single family house, not like a duplex or anything like that. The lots are more so just infill like lots for a house. It's not going to be like a development or a huge farm or anything like that. So for houses, we have everything listed here. And trust me, each of these is important. And each of these adds value when you send this to a buyer. So we have address, asking price, ARV. Those first three, you think that they are super obvious, but I've gotten sent so many deals that just don't even have the asking price. I have to reach out to the person. Hey, what's the price? They tell me, and there's like 20K in margin. And I'm like, that's never going to happen. This is a terrible deal. Why did I just waste my time asking you what the price is? You should have just sent it. So just include these things always. And it should be in this order too. And then you go down bed bath, the comparable that you have, and you can go check out our comps video if you need to figure out how to find a good comparable. But you're going to want to list that address there, the living area, square footage, and to clarify, for example, a garage is not living area. It's anything that has AC that's enclosed, that's part of the house. You can typically find that on the tax records. The lot size, square footage, the year built, viewing availability, that might be like appointment, it's on lockbox, or it's just unlocked. You can walk in whenever you want. Major repairs needed. We're talking about roof, foundation, AC, plumbing, electrical. If any of those things you know about, just tell your buyers so that they know, because if you try and hide it, they're just going to go look at the house eventually. They're going to find out and then they're going to negotiate you down or they're going to back up. So just tell them up front. And then finally, you're going to want to give them the link to any pictures that you have. That's hugely helpful. If you get more pictures, it's way easier to sell things sight unseen, so your buyers don't even need to go and walk the property themselves. Just a minor, like, little note here is that not all of these are like 100% necessary every time you send it, but the more information that you have and the more information you can send, once again, the more time you save for yourself, the better job you do for your buyers. For example, if you don't know exactly what the major repairs are and you're like, man, this is a super hot deal, go ahead and send it out. But for the most part, you're going to want to have all of these. In addition, you don't always have to send all of this out. For example, if you're posting on like Facebook or something, we typically don't send the address or the comparable address just because people are kind of mean. They'll steal your deal and they'll just go market it without your permission, which sometimes, is not a bad thing, but typically it's best to ask permission. So I would include all this information when you're sending it to your qualified buyers list through email, through text, or if you're directly messaging it to someone or if someone was interested. But you might not give them every single thing on this list if you're just posting on Facebook. Just a little heads up. All right, marketing lots. Pretty similar. In fact, I think this is easier. You got your address, asking price, new build value. New build value, that's a new thing we've kind of, or I haven't talked with you guys about yet, but when you're looking at a lot, you're going to look around in the area and see, okay, hey, there's a build from this year. Awesome. It's the same lot size. I think a similar house could be built. Basically, it's equivalent to after repair value for a house, but now it's for a lot. So that helps an investor to look at this and go, okay, that's the asking price. That's the new build value. Okay, sweet. They're going to know their build cost, everything like that. They're going to know that's a good deal. I'm interested. They can reach out to you. You're going to want the comp address for that new build, the lot size of your subject property. Does it have utilities? If so, where are they at? Are they at the street? Are they on the property? Is it septic, etc.? These things really matter because if utilities are at the street and someone has to move sewer onto the property or something like that, that can be a multi-$1,000 project. So it makes a big difference. It's kind of like the equivalent to major repairs for a single family house. And survey, if you have it, great. If not, you can take that off or you can just put no. HOA, this is going to be a really big thing. Always find out if there's HOA because those are fees they have to pay. And oftentimes HOA places restrictions on what can be built in the area. So sometimes builders don't want to pick things up in an HOA area just because they don't want to have to submit it to the HOA, get it approved. It's a big process. It's kind of annoying. And then finally, the zoning code. This depends on your area. If you're in Houston, Houston's freaking weird. There's no zoning codes or anything. It's just kind of do what you want. But in Dallas, there are zoning codes. So it might be like A1 or, residential, commercial, etc. It kind of changes based on your area. But if you need to figure that out, I know I mentioned this before, but you're going to look up the GIS in your area. So I would look up the Dallas GIS. I can go type in my lot, look it up, find out, okay, this is a residential lot and this is what they can build. I'm going to put that zoning code in there so I can save my buyer's time. But that's it. These things will make a huge difference if you are sending deals to your buddies, to JV, if you're sending it to buyers, and just making sure you have all the information you need to as well. You might realize that as you're filling this out, oh, shoot, man, I need to go ask the seller about that. Be sure you have this information so that you know what you're working with, so you know what you're selling. Hope that helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions.